November 28, 2025. Daily Bread. Passage. 2 Chronicles chapter 24 verse 15 to 27. Key verse. Verse 20. Title: When People Forsake the Lord. But Jehoiada grew old and full of days, and died. He was 130 years old at his death. And they buried him in the city of David among the kings, because he had done good in Israel, and toward God and his house. Now after the death of Jehoiada the princes of Judah came, and paid homage to the king. Then the king listened to them. And they abandoned the house of the Lord, the God of their fathers, and served the Asherah and the idols. And wrath came upon Judah and Jerusalem for this guilt of theirs. Yet he sent prophets among them to bring them back to the Lord. These testified against them, but they would not pay attention. Then the Spirit of God clothed Zechariah the son of Jehoida the priest, and he stood above the people, and said to them, Thus says God, why do you break the commandments of the Lord, so that you cannot prosper? Because you have forsaken the Lord, he has forsaken you. But they conspired against him, and by command of the king they stoned him with stones in the court of the house of the Lord. Thus Joash the king did not remember the kindness that Jehoiada, Zechariah's father, had shown him, but killed his son. And when he was dying, he said, May the Lord see and avenge! At the end of the year the army of the Syrians came up against Joash. They came to Judah and Jerusalem and destroyed all the princes of the people from among the people and sent all their spoil to the king of Damascus. Though the army of the Syrians had come with few men, the Lord delivered into their hand a very great army, because Judah had forsaken the Lord, the God of their fathers. Thus they executed judgment on Joash. When they had departed from him, leaving him severely wounded, his servants conspired against him because of the blood of the son of Jehoiada the priest, and killed him on his bed. So he died, and they buried him in the city of David, but they did not bury him in the tombs of the kings. Those who conspired against him were Zabad the son of Shimeth the Ammonite, and Jehozabad the son of Shimrith the Moabite. Accounts of his sons and of the many oracles against him and of the rebuilding of the house of God are written in the story of the book of the Kings. And Amaziah his son reigned in his place. Daily Bread Message. Jehoiada the priest died and was buried with the kings in Jerusalem. Even some kings were not buried there, but Jehoiada was honored in his death, as one who had done good for God and for the temple. He left a great spiritual legacy. Without a spiritual mentor to give him godly counsel, Joash began to listen to the officials of Judah. Perhaps out of a desire to have more influence in the royal court, they turned Joash's heart away from God and toward Asherah poles and idols. The Lord became angry and sent prophets to warn them, but they would not listen. The strongest voice of opposition was from Jehoiada's son, Zechariah, who warned them that they would not prosper. They had forsaken the Lord, and so the Lord forsook them. Instead of heeding the warning, the people plotted to kill Zechariah. Joash did nothing to stop it because he had forgotten Jehoiada's kindness. Pray earnestly to remember God's kindness to us. When the Arameans invaded, God allowed their much smaller army to defeat Judah. Joash was also wounded in battle. Then Joash's officials assassinated him for murdering Zechariah. He was buried in Jerusalem, but not as Jehoiada had been. Prayer. Father, forgive me for so easily forsaking you for idols. Help me to remember your grace in Jesus Christ and worship you alone. One word. Do not forsake the Lord.